Okay, how you guys doing? So I'm gonna get into worm composting here, and I kind of looked at a whole bunch of things on the internet, but this one's straightforward. It's called the Worm Factory 360. It comes with everything you see here, kind of. So it comes with your basic unit, a couple extra shelves, the core, which is actually like coconut for the bedding, some dried newspaper, the pumice, the owner's guide, a thermometer. Actually, kind of cool. It tells you the best temperature for the worms. A little mini rake, and yeah, the mixed compost. So the cool thing about it, on the lid of it, it tells you like everything you should and shouldn't put in it, the best temperature, and foods to avoid, which are like meat and like dairy products and different stuff like that. But it's really cool because you can put in all your vegetables in it, coffee grounds, all your leftover junk mail and stuff, and the worms are going to eat it away and produce like healthy compost for your garden. So it's good for the environment and good for your garden all in one. I like this unit because it's supposed to be odorless, and it's contained. They say you can use it indoor or outdoor. I'm going to start indoor, and then depending how it is, I'm going to put it outdoor for the summer. But the thing I don't like about the video and the owner's guide, it has a really kind of, I'd say, a crappy kind of setup. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the proper setup for people that I've been talking to in different videos I've been watching, and then hopefully everybody knows how to do a good worm factory composting kind of thingamajiggy here going on. So let me get this thing started and we'll get it going. So this is videos that you don't really see too much on the internet. Like a good kind of version kind of tells you how to do it properly. So I'll show you. It's the Worm Factory 360. You just take off the lid. It's got the grid. The little bottom part is where the worms climb up. So if they fall through the things, they'll fall in, but the ladder will actually let them climb up. So you put that lid on, and this is the only time I ever do this. The video says do one sheet. The owner's guide says use a few, so we're going to mix and match and kind of do it. So you put one sheet at the bottom where the holes, and it's the only time you're ever going to do it. It's going to be dry newspaper, and you put that on the bottom. That way the worms won't fall through. And there it is. So that's the bottom of the bedding. And then I took this core, which is mostly coconut and stuff, and you mix that with water. I already did that, so you didn't have to be all bored in the video and kind of watch that. So I mix that in this bucket here, so it's all wet. Squeeze out a bit of the moisture. And then I take a cup of the compost that kind of comes with it. You mix that all with it. Mix it all together. See, it's all kind of weird, but mix that all together. The compost and the core kind of getting mixed together. And then they actually provide you with a bit of like ripped up newspaper and stuff, cardboard newspaper. So I'm going to throw that in too. Really dusty kind of newspaper actually that comes with it. So mix that in, and it says take pumice, and it says take a cup of that. Oh no, it says actually take a half a cup per tray, so I'm going to measure a half a cup, roughly half a cup. Throw that in there too. And that's going to be the bedding, the bottom bedding for the worms. So I'm kind of mixing it all together. Pretty dusty more than I thought it would be actually. Hey dog, get out of the way. Can you see it? So this is a mix of all the stuff mixed together, so that's going to be the bedding that goes on to the dry stuff. So nice little mix. So that's going to be the bedding for the worms. So I'm going to put that in. Mix it all around. Get it away here. take a look at it. This is your first layer of the bedding and stuff. And that's how you start off. And then now I'm gonna I got some leftover compost at home that I've been kind of getting ready. And I'm gonna put it in 2 corners. That's a little bit of this stuff out of here. I'm gonna go wash my hands and then get a bit of the compost food, put it in the corners, and then we'll go from there. So I got a bit of the compost. I'm going to put a little bit more of this compost because the soil doesn't look as like, I think it could use a little bit more of like the regular compost. It's more like what the worms are living in the natural kind of environment. So put that in. Then they say, oh, this is going to be stinky. But so I'm going to take a bit of my leftover foods that I have, and they say put it in 2 corners. It is pretty stinky. That way when the worms come, they'll like be going to one little corner. And the other corner. The dog wants to eat the compost. So I got a bit of the food. So you got the bedding down at the bottom, you got the food in the corner. And now take some dry newspaper that's shredded. Push it over here. Put that on top. And the worms are going to eat all this newspaper and all the like leftover food, all that stuff. Which is good if you got some mail that you want to dispose of. Just let the worms eat it and it'll be gone. You're going to be making good fertilizer. So there's that, and then you just take a couple of newspapers that you wet. Where's my little water container? Oh, right here. So the last little bit, wet some newspaper. Newspaper's wet. Put that on top because you don't want the worms too wet, but you don't also want them too dry. So put that on top. The worm should be here within a week. So pretty well there's your setup. Put the lid on and the worm factory is kind of ready to go, and now just waiting for its worms. The worms should be here in a couple days, and then we'll show you how to put the worms in, and hopefully they're all doing good. And that's how you set up a Worm Factory 360.